winter rain had just begun when a knock echoed through the quiet house. Daniel opened the door, expecting a delivery or maybe his neighbor. But instead, he froze. Standing there was his ex-wife's younger sister, soaked from the rain, holding a small suitcase and wearing a hesitant smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. For a moment, neither spoke. Memories of the past, the divorce, the fights, the endless silence, hung in the air between them. "I didn't know where else to go," she finally said, her voice trembling. "Can I come in?" Daniel stepped aside, still stunned. He hadn't seen her in years, not since his marriage had fallen apart. Back then, she had taken her sister's side completely. Inside, the living room looked like a child's kingdom. Crayons scattered across the coffee table, a tiny backpack near the couch. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, peeked from behind the hallway door, clutching her stuffed bunny. The woman's eyes softened when she saw her. "She's gotten so big," she whispered. Daniel offered her a towel. "What brings you here after all this time?" She hesitated, gripping the fabric tightly. "It's about her mother." The words tightened something inside him. He hadn't heard from his ex-wife in years, just occasional emails about custody schedules and nothing more. "She's in the hospital," she continued. "It's bad, Daniel. She wanted to see you and Lily. She said there's something she needs to tell you both." He felt the ground shift beneath him. For a long moment, he couldn't breathe. The anger he'd held on to, the resentment that had defined so many nights, it all blurred into confusion. That evening, after Lily fell asleep, he and his former sister-in-law sat across from each other in the dim light of the living room. She spoke softly, sharing things Daniel had never known. The real reasons behind the divorce, the pain her sister had hidden, the sacrifices she had made quietly to protect him and their daughter from her own failing health. By the time she finished, Daniel's eyes burned. The story she told didn't erase the past, but it rewrote the parts he had misunderstood. When the rain stopped, she stood to leave. "I wasn't supposed to tell you all that," she said, tears glistening in her eyes. "But I couldn't let you keep hating someone who never stopped loving you." He walked her to the door, still lost for words. She turned back once more, as if remembering something. "Oh, and Daniel," she kept every drawing Lily ever made. Said they reminded her what hope looked like. The door closed softly behind her, leaving the faint scent of rain and truth in the air. In the silence that followed, Daniel went to his daughter's room. He watched her sleep, peaceful, unaware of the storm that had just passed through their lives. He knelt beside her bed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Outside, the clouds began to part, and for the first time in years, Daniel felt something shift inside him. Not guilt, not sorrow, but something lighter, something like forgiveness. The next morning, the sun broke through the clouds as if the world itself was offering a new beginning. Daniel packed a small bag for Lily and drove toward the hospital, his heart heavy yet strangely calm. He didn't know what he would say when he saw his ex-wife again, but he knew he had to go. When they arrived, the woman in the hospital bed looked frail, so much smaller than the fierce, passionate person he remembered. But when she saw Lily, her face lit up with a trembling smile that could melt years of silence. Lily ran to her, wrapping her tiny arms around her mother's neck. "Mommy, I missed you," she whispered. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she kissed her daughter's forehead. "I missed you more than you'll ever know." Daniel stood quietly by the door, unsure if he should step closer. Then she looked up at him, eyes tired, yet filled with a strange peace. "I didn't want you to find out this way," she said softly. "But I wanted you to know I never stopped caring. I just wanted you both to have a better life, even if it wasn't with me." Her sister stood nearby, wiping her eyes. The room was silent except for the soft hum of the machines. Daniel finally stepped forward and took her hand, something he hadn't done in years. "You gave us that," he said quietly. "You gave us more than you think." In that moment, something unexplainable happened. All the bitterness, the anger, the pride, it melted away. What remained was raw, pure humanity. Days later, after visiting hours turned into long walks and quiet talks, Daniel realized that forgiveness isn't about the past. It's about freeing yourself for the future. He began helping at the hospital's children's wing with Lily, reading stories to sick kids who had no visitors. He found meaning in small acts, holding doors open, listening to strangers, sharing warmth wherever he could. One evening, as he watched Lily hand her coloring book to another child, he smiled. Life had tested him, broken him, and then rebuilt him through kindness. Sometimes the people who break us also teach us what it means to heal. And sometimes, forgiveness isn't just an act of mercy. It's the beginning of a brand new life.